Are your spiritual beliefs a blessing in disguise? I was going to put on the teal colored mustache, but it was too funny. It made everything look like weird green, kind of like the frosty filter that I used with the beard and mustache for Supersize Your Business today, because our EMR expression is a blessing in disguise. And we talked about the ways that blessings in disguise, something that we think is really bad, turns out to be good and make a positive impact on our life. And I have so many examples of that in my life. You know, the loss of my father, my sudden cardiac arrest. I actually died, and that ended up being a absolutely 360, I guess on 180 transformation and change of the direction of my life. The direction of my life was going, changed dramatically following that event. So most people would think dying is a bad, catastrophic thing. But since I'm still here to talk about it, I realized that it was one of the best things that ever happened to me. It gave me a chance to reevaluate and think about, am I creating the life I really want, or am I just creating the life I think I should be creating? And I was creating the life I thought I should be creating, and I was miserable. Not just a little miserable, but I'm so stressed out, I'd rather be dead miserable. So not a great way to be living my life, right? And so I got to do an absolute revamp and stop and change the way I wanted to live my life. And now I live my life the way I want to live my life, right? So a blessing in disguise. I believe, and maybe this is just my belief, that absolutely everything that happens to us and around us, every experience we have, is for a reason. And we don't often understand the reason immediately. A lot of times things happen and we forget to learn the lesson. And so guess what? We get served up a similar situation in our life again until we say, okay, why am I seeing this pattern? Why am I feeling this way over and over again? What's similar about situations and experiences I've had in the past that I haven't consciously noticed and decided how I'm going to respond and react to them? At least that's what I choose to believe, is that everything happens to teach me or show me or for me, for my benefit, for my personal growth and development, so I can be a better person, so I can make the choices of how I want to respond to things. You know, it's like people that marry the wrong type person or date the wrong type person over and over and over again. At some point, do they ever, and some do, some don't, of course, stop and say, oh my gosh, if I look at my previous 5 relationships, this is all the things I've had in common that were good. This is all the things I've had in common that didn't work out for me and that I didn't see along the way. What if I eliminate all the things in my next partner that were bad in those previous relationships and see if I can't change and make a shift in me so I don't attract those negative things. I only attract the things that I want, the positive things. That's just a quickie example. So everything happens for a reason. You know, blessings to me, a blessing in disguise, a challenge, a bad thing that happens, a lost opportunity in our minds, especially when we're growing and building our businesses, to me is something that I need to learn from. And then how can I take what I learned and use that or put that away in my brain so that when something similar happens in the future, I respond in a different way or I learn something. I think that our challenges are what really move us in the direction we want to go with our life. They're the things that show us where we have the biggest area of change or improvement required. If let's think of an example. I've got so many examples in my life of where I've done this and looked at and said, okay, this bad thing happened. And a lot of people will dwell on the why, or they'll just relive the bad event over and over and over again. It's like a 5 or 10 minute event and they turn it into, 10 years of their life because they've thought about it and relived it in their mind so many times. And there's a tool for changing that experience and turning it into a positive instead of a negative. I learned it from Tony Robbins, decades ago, like 4 decades ago. If anybody wants to know that, hit me up and we can go through it. Or you can look up Tony Robbins and find out how to change our response to different stimuli or different triggers. So that was our idiom for Supersize Your Business. We're doing a spiritual idiom every day in the month of April to coincide with the annual BU 365-day challenge. You do one thing every day that improves us. We're following for the first 9 months of the year the life framework that I use for pretty much everything in my life. It was 7, and then last year in April, I added communication and confidence as core areas that I want to personally work on as well. And they're foundational to everything else, right? Physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, contribution. They impact those 7 areas, every single one of them, in some way, shape, or form. Just like all of these interact with one another, right? I have a graph. Oh, here it is. I have a graphic. This is how I think of the life framework. You know, they have a list of it when they're teaching it, different people that teach that. This is how I see the life framework. Every area is interconnected to every other area and to itself. And so to me, in my brain, this is how I see the life framework. This is how most people teach and see the life framework, because it's more understandable than this. But we're using this as a framework of what we're talking about in this year's annual challenge. In this month's spirituality, today we talked about our spiritual thoughts and beliefs, and we're just looking at them and paying attention to what are our current thoughts and beliefs about different aspects of spirituality right now. How do we feel about religion? What are our thoughts and feelings, and not feelings, but thoughts and beliefs about that? I guess we could do feelings, but I think we'll do feelings another day, because feelings and emotions are a whole nother ball game. So just thoughts and beliefs, our current thoughts and beliefs about spirituality. Are we spiritual? Are we religious? If so, what religious thoughts and beliefs do we have, and do we practice? What do we want? What is our belief about life, death, lessons learned and experiences, blessings in disguise? What do we believe about that? What do we think about that? I know that I am probably in the minority when I look at bad things that happen and say, okay, what's the lesson in this? The first question I ask when something bad happens now isn't, why did this happen to me, or poor me? It's, what can I learn from this? What is this here to show me? Because it happened for a reason. What did I miss when I was setting something up? What did I not see about a person, place, thing, or experience that I maybe should have? So that next time I don't miss that. I don't miss the signs that something's wrong and something bad is going to happen, right? So what's my connection to a higher power, or to other people, things outside of myself, etc.? So that's what I'm working on. It is Sunday here in my neck of the woods, so it is my day to plan for this week ahead and spend time with family and people I love and care about, do some things for myself, continue to work on the different areas and aspects that we've already covered on our annual challenge, because I want to have things set up so I know I'm making progress in each of these areas. That's the whole point of this challenge, is how do I look at these areas and aspects of my life, and then how can I put things in place so that I automatically am moving toward what I want for my life as a whole. But by breaking it down into different parts, I can say, okay, I'm going to add this physical activity to my daily routine, or this mental activity, this meditation, this set of affirmations to one of my other daily habits or daily routines, etc. All right, any questions? If I can help in any way, ask. Otherwise, I'm going to get to it and have an awesome day, and I wish you the same. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Bye.